13 Podcast.
Yo, and we are live here at Lucky 13 Podcast, and we got Jamal here.
What's up?
We got Dee, who's not. Is Dee on the mic over here?
Yeah, I'm on the mic.
And we got Dee over here, and we got a very special, really close friend of mine, Jeff Golden. What's up, Jeff?
How's it going?
Good, man. Good to see you, brother. It's been a fucking while.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, what, like a month and a half?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm down in fucking Florida all the time, and every time I go down there, I hang out with Jeff. But Jeff has a fucking laundry list of bands he's been in. I met him a million years ago, back when he played with fucking My Uncle the Wolf. I don't even know what year was My Uncle the Wolf?
That was I joined in 2007, and we did the Ministry tour in 2008.
Nice.
That was the original Luckies.
Yeah. It was that fucking long ago. Crazy. And so you went from My Uncle the Wolf, right?
Yep.
And then then after that you played with fucking guys like 6 Feet Under, Goat Whore.
Well, I went to I filled in for That Will Be Done, and that's the same tour I filled in for Goat Whore with. And then after that one was 6 Feet Under. Tried out for Soulfly they took me on tour for 10 days. That was pretty fun. And then I joined Crowbar after that.
Nice.
After Crowbar was Lord Dying, and then still 6 Feet Under from about 2011 on and off. The last tour I did was 2019 in Europe with 6 Feet.
Nice. Yeah, you fucking where the hell did you go? You went to Colombia or some shit, right?
Went to Colombia for that was doing like stage managing. Colombia, and then the following year went to Mexico, and then 2 days later I filled in on bass in Europe.
Did you eat the cooey?
I don't know what I had, but it was good.
That's they eat the hamsters down there.
I don't think it was that. It was more like seafood.
Okay.
Yeah, they fucking well, that's Peru. No, they eat.
No,
fucking,
that's all of South America.
Eat
Yeah.
guinea pigs in there.
Yeah. So Jeff, man, you're down in fucking Florida now. I'm
Yeah.
dying to be down there with you, man.
Yeah.
I'm fucking, whatever. Like, and it's kind of weird that Jeff ended up in fucking Tampa, which we've been trying to freaking move to. And we've been, I don't know, man. We've been fucking trying, and like, I mean, and Jeff, dude, you've had a fucking rough, like, fucking year and a half.
I've had a rough about 7 years.
Yeah, man. I guess. But dude, but you persevered. Like the last year was like fucking really bad, and like to go from,
Homeless.
yeah, to being homeless to now fucking living in a house and like doing your shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, fucking many props to you, because like really,
Thanks.
you've been through the fucking shit. And
Yeah, it's been a weird ride.
Yeah, and like going from the whole fucking Crowbar bullshit, and then I know you went through a divorce at the same time I was going through a fucking divorce.
Yep.
Yeah, not fun. But you're killing it.
I was okay going through mine. That's when I was coming up to New York to hang out. That didn't really, it was what it was. It was over and it's cool. Great.
Yeah.
I still talk to Grace, my stepdaughter in England. She calls me every day still about 12 o'clock, 12:30. But
Nice.
yeah.
Dude, fucking what? Gilbert Gottfried's dead? No shit.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Wow. No shit. Wow, I fucking love Gilbert Gottfried. That's a fucking shame. I sent a friend of mine a cameo of Gilbert Gottfried, and he got mad at me.
It says he had a long illness.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow, he's played across the street. He's done some shit across the street. That's a bummer. Crazy. But Jeff, you fucking whatever, man. You fucking so you went
Still
from
here.
what's that?
I'm still here.
Yeah, you are still fucking here, man. And you went from like really fucking being homeless, living on dudes' couches and shit like that.
Yeah,
Now-
Airbnbs and weird hotels and shady parts of Tampa.
Yeah. And fucking doing the whole New Orleans experience too was fucking wild.
Yeah. Yep. New Orleans, for me, New Orleans is fun, but it's fun to leave too. But when I was there for like permanently full time, it got a little old.
Yeah, I mean, listen, New Orleans is I love New Orleans. It's a great fucking town, but like to live there, man, has got to be a little.
It takes its toll. Me and Katie stopped by from El Paso on the drive to Tampa. We stayed there for A night, 2 days, one night. Met up with Lou, hung out there, got some food, and head to Florida.
Nice. Yeah. Was it cool going back there for a minute?
Yeah, it's great going back there. We're just trying to plan another trip there. We're just like a weekend, maybe a long weekend, a day, whatever. We were there.
Nice.
For a day and a half.
Yeah, I'm fucking down. I gotta get back down to fucking New Orleans. We gotta plan a fucking New Orleans trip because I'm totally down to go too.
I used to go to New Orleans every year. I've been there 5 times.
Yeah, I fucking love it. But living there, though, dude, like, you know, the fucking drinking and the food and all that shit, it can't be fucking easy.
No, I gained 40 pounds when I first moved there just from eating.
Of course.
Yeah.
The fucking bread and the fried foods and the fucking drink. I'm sure you're drinking every fucking night.
Yeah, we used to live next to the local bar that all the Metairie were right outside New Orleans. Like all the Crowbar people would hang out there, and then that metal crowd. So it was like right next door. You walk through a little hole in the fence, and we were there.
Nice.
So that was the local hangout.
Nice. Jeff, you're originally from fucking Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
And you went from Connecticut to. Did you go right from Connecticut to New? You were kind of out of you were in and out of New York a lot.
Yeah, I was staying like in New Haven, so I just jump on the train and then stay at Zach's house for my Uncle the Wolf. Probably about almost 2 years, but I would stay in New York a lot, maybe like 5, sometimes 6 nights out of the week. Go back to Connecticut for a day and then come back.
Nice. Yeah, that's how we got to know each other, drinking a lot.
Yeah.
Fucking lucky thing. I remember you brought Jimmy Bauer in the bar one night.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, he tried to light one of my dreads on fire outside. Didn't work because it was raining though.
Yeah, motherfucker.
I see him sometimes. He just played with I Got the Brass Mug. I couldn't make that one, but his all one said it was a great show.
Ah, nice. Well, you recorded with him too, didn't you? Didn't you record an album with him?
With Jimmy Bauer?
Yeah.
He was doing he produced the first My Uncle the Wolf album, and he was playing bass. And then when I went down there, they were mixing it, I think, or mastering it.
All right.
So he was a big part of it. He's a big part of the reason why I was able to tour, I think, because his name was attached to that. So it got more notice with that. But I never actually recorded with him, but I was at the studio during the end of the first album.
Nice. And then when that was over, then you went to Thy Will Be Done, right? How'd that happen?
Yeah. Jay from Thy Will Be Done called me up. It was like probably November 2009, asked me if I was available to fill in on a 2010 tour. It was an 8-week tour with Devil Driver, Suffocation, and Gohor. So I learned that set. They picked me up from Rhode Island. Our first show was somewhere in LA. We were supposed to go to Dez from Devil Driver's house to practice, because at that point I only tried out for him. We never had a full practice. We never had any kind of practice.
Yeah.
Our van broke down 64 hours in Missouri. It was like -8 degrees out.
Awesome. What the fuck did you do for that many hours?
We got a hotel, which is the only hotel we got that tour, and then we hung out in the truck shop where they were fixing it. It was a long 64 hours.
Yeah, it sounds like
it was a fun tour though. It was definitely an experience.
Nice. And then how long? So you only did, how long did you do with them? 8 weeks?
8 weeks, yeah.
That's cool.
And that's when Gohor James he couldn't do the last week of the tour. He was finishing his master's degree. So he asked me if I could fill in. So I learned their set and did, I think it was either 5 or 6 shows, but it ended up being 4 or 5 because our van broke down again. So they had to play Austin as a 3-piece with, I think Sammy ran his guitar through a bass cab too. So it sounded a little heavier.
Yeah.
And then I met back up with them in New Mexico.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, though, you've been pretty much fucking living all around then for the past fucking, so that was like 2009 when that started? Like that will be done 2009?
Yeah, 2008 was a ministry tour with my Uncle the Wolf. After that, I had to, do the normal pizza making job in Connecticut and went back to school. It took me 6 years to get a 2-year degree because of all the touring. Every time I said I was going to finish school, I'd get a tour offer. School can wait till later.
What was fucking tournament ministry like though? That had been pretty fucking awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah. It was still probably one of my favorite, if not the favorite tour that I've done so far.
I'm sure hanging with Al Jorgensen's a fucking party.
Yeah. We spend day off on I think one of the beaches in France in the Mediterranean Sea. That was a fun day off. The first time I met Al was probably 3 days into it. We were coming down the Alps and our tires caught on fire. The brakes started smoking, so we had to bring it to the mechanic shop down the street from the club, which was maybe about a block away, but it's an industrial area, so it wasn't too bad. And we started seeing like bread flying across the parking lot. And it's Al feeding the birds, and he's like, "Hey, I heard you guys heard your van caught on fire." Like, yeah. He goes, "That's dumb. Want to come inside the bus for a beer?" Sure. And we just kind of clicked. He said it reminded him of when he first started, all the issues that can happen to like the start off bands or even more experienced bands too.
Fucking Jeff, man, dude, I love you, man. And like, me and Jeff talk business shit all the time too. Like, Jeff wants to do like some pizza stuff, whatever, man. Me and Jeff talk about business all the time, and I would love to do something with Jeff at some point. But motherfucker, your tires always catching on fire. I'm like, shit, dude. He's such a nice dude, and you get some fucking luck, man. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
Yeah, it's been better since the last year or so.
Good, man. So, you got a fucking good girl in your life too now. You got Katie there.
Yep. Yeah, Katie McCrimmon, she plays keyboards for Convalescence, but we're also doing a project with Azal from Crisis and Fred from Crisis. So, and then we have our own thing on the side. So if we're not exhausted from working, because she's a wound care nurse, so she works long hours, and I'm a home inspector. So sometimes I'm doing 40, 50, 60 hours a week, but we try to make a couple nights out of the week just to work on music. Last night we were up at Azal's house eating dinner with his family, and then started playing about 10:30. We didn't get home till about 1, which doesn't sound too late, especially for like you guys, but for us, it's like we got to get up in 4 hours and go back to work.
Yeah. You got earlier mornings than fucking night. Yeah, it's not fun. But dude, it's cool though. You got a fucking studio in your house now, so you've been able to.
Yeah, we're building it up little by little. We're selling the futon because I just bought that A10 cab, so we need more room for gear. So we're getting the furniture out to bring the gear in.
The fucking best. That's why I want to move to Florida too, because I want to be able to have a fucking studio in my fucking one of the bedrooms.
Yeah.
No kids, just fucking music equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So you're playing with Absal right now. Yeah, Masters Ashes, right?
Yeah, we're doing another show on the 30th with Abysmal Lord, which is some of the guys from Caveman Cult from the show that you saw. So we're playing with them. Band Funeral Solution. They were the second band on that night that you guys were down watching the show. And that's in about 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks. And then a couple weeks after that, Norman from Swans is coming down to do like an ambient like atmospheric set, and we're going to be doing that as well. It's going to be me, Azal, Katie, and our friend Oliver that you met. It's just going to be kind of like improvised, but we're going to work on a little thing to start it off and then just see how it goes for about 20, 30 minutes or so.
That's fucking cool, man. Yeah, I saw them last time I was down in Tampa. So guy Absal, the guitar player from Crisis, has a bar down there, which is Born Free Pub. And it's a cool little fucking biker bar, but it's cool. He started doing live music in there and shit now. And got to
He's actually a big reason I was able to get to the point I'm at now, because met him when I was bouncing from Airbnbs and shady hotels, and then he invited me to live with him and his family for a couple months, and that's when I was able to buy the house and get the job situation going and be able to get the mortgage.
Yeah, because you dealt with that bullshit from Crowbar. I don't know how much you want to get into it. You're always very respectful of all that kind of bullshit. But you were in Crowbar from what, 2013 to 16?
Yeah, 2013. End of 2013, I tried out. I think it was end of September, and then when I got fired by text message in 2016, June, amazing. After we did a tour with Trouble. And
Joe, that fucking sucks because I love Crowbar, and now it's a fucking but I love Jeff more than I love fucking Crowbar. So it's like, and like somebody was like, "Oh, bro, you gotta hear the new Crowbar." I'm like, "Fuck you," you know what I mean? Like fucking dick. Because I'm like, it's a shame, man. But dude, that must have been great at first, anyways, getting in Crowbar.
Oh, at first, yeah, they were my favorite band, and till I joined them. But it was cool to be able to be a part of that scene, because that was a scene that was my favorite scene ever since high school. Crowbar was my favorite band since I was 16. I saw a Facebook post saying Pat quit, Pat Bruders, and they were looking for a bass player. So I sent them all my stuff, and a Kirk and his wife called me and we arranged me to come up to New Orleans. Went up for a tryout and I stayed there for about 3 months, came home. I drove back to do a tour managed 6 Feet Under, but that tour got canceled. I think it was because of that hurricane that came through the Northeast. So I ended up driving back to New Orleans for moving there.
And like, I mean, you uprooted your whole. Where were you before that? Because you were with.
I was down in Fort Myers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you had a house down there at that time, right?
No, I was living with my dad. I bought the house after the whole Crowbar thing ended. That's when we moved back out of New Orleans back to Florida. Bought the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sold the house and moved back to New Orleans. But
yeah, back and forth for a minute.
Yeah.
So, so when you first got in Crowbar, though, man, it must have been pretty awesome. Did you play a lot of festivals and shit like that?
The first one was just a small, like, Gulf Coast kind of tour up to Oklahoma, Crushing the South, it was called. Second tour is when we went to England, and then that summer of 2014, that's when Sweden Rock, Bloodstock, that's when we did the Bo's Uncle's Limp Bizkit show. That was about 85,000 people on the Formula One racetrack.
Yeah.
I got a question about that. I know it never really seems like it when you're like doing it and you're living it. But like, how surreal is it? This is my favorite band. When I'm in high school, I joined this band. I'm going all over the place.
Yeah, it was like some of it seemed natural, and then some of it's exactly like that you have to step back. That happened when I was filling in for Goat Whore because I was playing on stage, and I look over when Ben introduced me to the crowd, and then Sammy was clapping. And Acid Bath was one of my favorite bands in high school too. And then all of a sudden, I was playing the Acid Bath songs in my mom's basement in high school, and then however many years later, I'm standing on stage with the guy that wrote the songs. Same thing with 6 Feet Under too. So it's I've done some pretty cool stuff with that, like posters on the wall of people that I grew up listening to. I ended up joining the band. So yeah, it is surreal at times.
It definitely sounds like the dream, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was definitely something that I want to keep doing. The way the Crowbar situation was handled was really poorly, and that kind of put a hiatus, I guess, on my end. So,
but you're getting back to it though, man. Like you know.
Yeah, it's slowly coming back, and then like I did that tour with 6 Feet Under that's where I met Katie overseas. But then a couple months later, the shutdown happened, so that didn't do anybody any favor. So right when the ball started rolling again, it just kind of stopped and went backwards because the world changed.
Yeah.
A lot of things could come out of that, and a lot of things have, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you catch yourself listening to nowadays, but if you ask me, one of the best albums that came out of that whole thing, if you listen to Cattle Decapitation, Death Atlas came out in the middle of the pandemic, and it's one of the best albums I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So relatable, so pinpoint. Like, you got to listen to it if you haven't heard it.
It was crazy during COVID though. Like, I don't know, man. Like, just playing music myself and all that kind of shit. It was fucking hard to get inspired. Like,
yeah.
Some people did it, man. Some people fucking wrote books. Some people, wrote a million songs. I couldn't do shit. You know what I mean?
It was the opposite for me, man.
Yeah?
I started playing guitar every single day.
Nice.
Every single day. And I had the time to do it the way I used to do it in high school, 8 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird though. Like, I mean, Jeff, especially you, like, you made a living off, playing music and shit like that.
Yeah, and that's tough to adjust back to normal full time, like 9 to 5, or sometimes it was like 9 to 9 at night last summer.
Yeah.
So trying to make more time to play music, and then it's just a matter of time after that.
What's good though, I guess when everything shut down though, listen, you put yourself. He was living on somebody's couch, put him through fucking school, and then has a house within 1 year. You know what I mean? Like, it's like fucking, it's like the ultimate like turnaround. Like,
He's the motivator, bro.
Yeah, dude. Like, for real, man. I'm happy for you. Like, it was like really like to go from having fucking hard times to like putting himself through school and literally owning a fucking house a year later. It's like fucking
yeah. And this is like one of the few times that I've actually made a good investment because I'm just watching the market, the value go up. So,
oh fuck yeah, dude!
Bought at the right time.
Florida real estate's fucking perfect.
Yeah, I activated my real estate license too soon, or a couple weeks ago. So hopefully soon I'll get that ball rolling and start that chapter too.
Fuck, dude, you don't even need rock and roll, bro.
Like the rockin' realtor.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, you need some rockin' realtor
Yeah.
cards. Yo, but to go like whatever, man. It's pretty fucking awesome what you've done. But it's also too like it's good, man. Listen, everything happens for a reason, and this way you didn't have to focus on music at that time because you couldn't, because there was nothing you could fucking do with it.
Yeah, I still worked that whole. There was not one part of the shutdown that I was out of work, except for when I went from Tampa when I left Riverview to my mom's house, and then up to Tennessee. But I was still working throughout the summer.
Yeah,
so I was like pretty busy at that time. And same thing, it's like at that time a lot of motivation wasn't there to pick up a guitar and write.
Yeah, and especially going through that kind of bullshit is not fucking easy. Also,
yeah, there's some days I didn't want to pick up. Some days I didn't pick up the guitar for months. But now it's coming back, and playing with Katie, Fred, and Azal is definitely it's a lot better. It's like last night, Azal and Fred wrote a song last week when Fred was down because he lives in upstate New York. Last night, Azal showed us a song, and I kind of added my style of playing and a couple extra notes, and Azal got really excited, and he was just like super excited about having me add my parts instead of bands like Crowbar, for instance. I had to learn somebody else's style, and my input really wasn't there at all. So I was pretty much like a hired gun at the point.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're stuck in their ways too. I'm sure Kirk's been doing it for a fucking long time, and
yeah. Well, there's one song I recorded one song on Symmetry and White. Did bass on one song, but I actually wrote a riff that got changed. One note got changed, and then it was somebody else's riff. So even when I had the input, it was.
That's some fucking bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bullshit that came with that whole situation. A lot of good stuff, but a lot of bullshit.
Yo, what was the first time when you walked out on stage with fucking 85,000 people?
That's one of the few times that I just walked around the corner and I said, wow, it's a lot of people out there. But I know they were there for this band, Bo's Uncles. That's like a German band that hasn't played, I think, in 9 years.
Yeah.
And it was only the first night was, I think, Soulfly, Limp Bizkit, Bo's Uncles. The next night was Crowbar, Limp Bizkit, Bo's Uncles. So I knew they weren't there just to see us. And so what I did was just focus on the little pits all around, the people that were into it.
Right.
Some people looked like they were bored out of their mind because they only wanted to see the headlining band. It was a big band in Germany or German-speaking countries like Austria. Outside of that, not many people know who the band is, but it was the biggest stage in Europe at the time, most expensive stage and the biggest one that was ever built.
Damn. Wow, that's pretty awesome. I would have froze. Yeah. I would have probably froze. I shit my pants. One of the fucking two.
I imagine that many people don't really look like people. They probably look like the stickers on these walls.
It starts turning into like a blur, a little sea.
I guess, but that stage has got to be fucking huge too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Can you I've only had the fortunate enough to play on like a big stage twice. And the sound is completely different. Like playing small clubs, you can hear everything and shit like that. But like on a fucking giant stage like that, it's got to be hard to fucking hear everybody, correct?
It wasn't too bad. It was, it's not as easy. Yeah, you can still hear it because your monitors are pretty clear. But that I'd say club, but it was a racetrack. It had delay towers halfway through. So when the kick drum hit, it took a couple seconds for it to fire off in the distance so the people in the back can hear it in real time. They could watch the show, not like any delays.
Right.
So it was interesting.
Yeah, that's fucking wild. Fucking crazy.
We did that. We did Hellfest the next day, and then the following year was Brutal Assault and a couple smaller ones. Eperfest, I think, like a vegan fest out there. I don't even remember half the ones we've done. There's a lot of the smaller ones, but they were fun. The shows were always fun with them. I can't say it wasn't. It was some stuff that happened after the shows or even before on the way there got a little old to hear someone fighting with their wife after the shows every night. So in the US, I would sit in the front seat of the cab of the bandwagon with our driver, Jacob, just because me and him were friends already before. He was friends with Kevin Talley, who I used to work with in 6 Feet Under, and toured with him a lot of times. I think he was in Suffocation when we ran into each other at Brutal Assault. So there was parts where I had to just find my own fun on tour.
And you said you're still friends with the drummer. Is it the drummer you're still friends with?
In Crowbar?
Yeah.
I'm not. None of them.
None of them anymore?
None of them. That was such a the way they got rid of me was Kirk called me up and he said the drummer didn't like me at all. And I thought that was kind of weird because that tour, we sat down and ate breakfast together all the time. And then he kept talking all this weird stuff. I'm pretty sure there was some Coors Light involved in that conversation. Huh. And he said, listen, if you can figure it out with Tommy, then we can work it out. It took me 5 minutes I was at Kmart. Went from Kmart to my house. I got a text message and it just said capital letters, "You are fired." He didn't want to fire me over the phone. He fired me over text message.
Yeah, because you had spoke to him on the phone right before, right?
Yep. The tour was fine. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming for probably about a year, but they kept saying, no, it's not coming. It's, we wouldn't do that to you. And it turns out they had it planned in January because the guy who took my spot, the original bass player, he let it slip in an interview that Kirk asked him to replace me in January. And then February is when I, did that whole wedding thing. And Kirk stood in the wedding and said, how meaningful it was for me to be in the band. But the month before, he already had me fired. So, a couple months come and go. I heard someone in the French Quarter said they told someone else I know on Facebook that, hey, Jeff's getting fired from Crowbar. And he was like, well, he messaged me. And I was like, what are you talking about? I asked him again. No, it's not happening. After that Trouble tour in June, that's when they let me go, which is, it was just like very poorly handled. It did happen. You're not, bands don't work out all the time, but every band I've been in, I've kept in touch with at least one person from that band.
Well, listen, I've seen how you are with fucking, Goat Whore played at Lucky 13 the one time, and Jeff was here for it, and fucking, like, you got along great with those fucking dudes. And and I know you're a good dude, you know what I mean? So it's not like, I don't think you'd fucking have problems with people. But
it's not me, like, trying to talk shit either, but it was, no one really knows a lot of this story. Besides my close friends, they don't know this part of the story. A lot of people came up to me in other bands that we've toured together that I was friends with, and they were saying certain people from that Crowbar camp were telling people not to work with me because I'm difficult to work with. So in a way, it was like a lot of my connections were being told, don't work with them. And of course, someone's going to listen to someone with a bigger name than, a smaller person in the industry.
That's fucked up, though. Why would he try and shit on you like that?
I don't know. But it's just, I think, maybe it was a thing because they told me for so long that I wasn't getting fired and it was already planned that I was getting fired. And the worst part is when I announced it on Facebook, I got a message from Ministry's manager at the time saying that they were interested to have me fill in, but they didn't want to interfere with the Crowbar Carcass tour that was booked for the tour summer.
Yeah.
So that would have been awesome. That was like a bucket list kind of thing to play with them.
Have you ever seen him face to face after the firing ever?
Or
any of them?
I have actually at a family pizza restaurant in River Ridge, right outside New Orleans, where he lived. He didn't see me, but I saw him, and I just kept my distance. He was also yelling carnivore lyrics really loud at a family restaurant. It's funny to look back at now, but at the time it was like, I got to the point where I just like kept my distance from everybody after I heard like people were talking. But then you got people in the New Orleans scene that kind of knew like that wasn't true. Like Go Whore guys, I talk to them all the time. Well, when I see them, it's not I keep in touch every day, but if we see each other at a show, it's like no time passed just hanging out.
Yeah, and I've heard from other bands who have been on tour with Crowbar before who says that fucking once Kirk gets wasted too, he's not fucking easy to deal with. Like, I've had friends say like, Kirk came on our tour bus and we were like, get him off the fucking bus. You know what I mean? Because he gets fucking out of control.
Yeah, it was, I'm glad I did it, but I knew it wasn't going to be a long-term thing. It went longer than I thought it would as it was. And he would tell people interviews from like a month or two after I joined the band. Basically, what he lacks in bass playing ability, he makes up for in attitude. And I was like, really? Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like an angry ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, for real, right?
And again, that's not even me talking shit. There was interviews that had to be retracted because of stuff that was said before it got released.
Wow.
What is he? He's a short dude. He's got that Napoleon complex or some shit, or
I have no idea what's going on.
I don't know. Listen, from what I've heard, not from Jeff, not spilling Jeff shit. Like, I mean, like from other people who have kind of spent any time with them and stuff like that. He's just, he should. He feels he should be bigger than they actually are. And listen, they laid a lot of groundwork for a lot of fucking bands.
Yeah.
Like that New Orleans sludgy sound, Crowbar, I Hate God. I feel like he's getting older. He's bitter.
oh, he was in that. He was in what band was he in with Phil? Was he in-
Down.
He was in Down.
Down,
Yeah.
He's back in Down.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. Down's pretty fucking. Down's like maybe like a little step lower than Pantera, you know?
Yeah.
I still listen to Down all the time.
Yeah, Down's fucking great, man. And whatever, man. And, it's crazy. He's just fucking angry, and
Yeah, I can't speak for him. Like, if I ran into him, I probably wouldn't even say much, but it would be cool if he like acknowledged how much it impacted by telling people. I mean, not cool. I mean, I don't care if you acknowledge it or not, but impacted my music career by telling people don't work with him. And meanwhile, I'm still getting calls with 6 Feet Under to be the guy who fills in when Jeff Huell can't do the tours. They always call me first. Chris told me from the get-go, since when I tried out, they already had, I think Matt from Chimera was already doing it, but at the time, Chris had me come up and just fill in like practice because he lived in Tampa. I was in Fort Myers, and his nephew was filling in on drums just to rehearse with Chris and Steve, the guitar player. So I just went up with them and ended up being just like the practice kind of bass player. And Chris, offered me the spot as crew, but he always had a spot for me on tour if there was one available, or if they needed to fill in, I was always the one that they called.
So that's fucking cool too, man. Because it's funny though, man, Jeff, how you influence my fucking liking of people or not. Because like, you hear shit in the news about like Chris Barnes runs his mouth a little bit too much and stuff, dude. But like, I always like, he's always been really good to you, man, which makes me fucking.
Yeah. I just texted him the other day. We're just like out of nowhere. We're sitting there. I think it was like 2 Saturdays ago. Just sent a text over, see how he was doing, and just keep in touch as friends. Not anything music wise, because it's I don't know if they have any plans, but I just keep in touch with most people that I've toured with.
Is Chris Barnes is 6 Feet Under still going? I imagine. I
think so. Yeah. I haven't heard much. I know there's one page that people keep sharing, and it's not even him. It's someone did a troll page, and they're making like really weird statements, and that's not his. Marco, the drummer, called him out because the music news page shared it, and he just started laughing. He's like, "You guys don't even do your research. This isn't even him." So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what the whole situation with that is, but I know I always enjoyed working with 6 Feet Under, and every time I've been on tour with them, there's never been one issue, no drama, no egos, just people out there having fun.
That's cool.
Even when I messed up the Hammer Smash Face bass solo, I said it was called the Butcher That Bass instead of. And it was the first tour that Katie's band was on too, the first show of that tour, and I decided I was going to try to play without a pick, and it did not go over well. But then I figured out how to play that part without a pick, the bass fill, and then flip the pick back to finish the rest of the song. And Chris even told me, like, he's like, "I don't worry about it. It's really hard fill to nail, especially if you're not used to playing that style." But the next night I got it, and I'd say probably about six or seven times out of that tour I got it. A couple of times I was just like, did not sound like it, but no one was upset. No one really cared. We're out there to have fun. So, stuff happens like that. And I'm not a technical bass player. That's the other thing with when I joined Crowbar. First thing I said was, I'm not a technical bass player. So if you need a technical bass player, I'm probably not the guy. And I put it like all out there, like sludge, doom. I could do like certain Cannibal Corpse songs, but it's not really my style of playing.
Yeah. But dude, if you can play hammer, if you can pull off hammer smash face even 6 fucking times, it's fucking impressive.
Yeah, it was. That's when I was working at East Coast Pizza when I was rehearsing for that tour, and I must have played that song about 20 times a day. Luckily, my roommates didn't care. They liked, metal. They liked Cannibal, so they thought it was cool. But I sat in probably about 5 or 6 times before work, and then way more after. That's
fucking cool. But dude, come on, the first show you fucked it up. I mean, that's a lot of pressure, especially the first one. That's not fucking easy.
But it was still fun though. Like one, I hit it perfect, and even Chris walked over in the middle of the set, like fist bump, just nailed it. And that was cool. That was another band like I kind of grew up listening. Like when 6 Feet Under came out, I think it was like 16. Yeah. My mom got me the CD for Christmas, so it's kind of cool. Like going back to what you said about being surreal, end up working with these people, but becoming friends with them too at the same time.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah,
especially Chris Barnes. You know what I mean? It's like that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's always been fun working with them.
Nice.
And even like the Crowbar, most of the Crowbar tours were fun. A lot of good shows. Met a lot of cool people over in UK and US too, and all over Europe. Went to Moscow.
How was that? I was fucking Moscow.
That was crazy. That was like one of the few times we. Well, for me, I'm like, this must be what it feels like to be famous, because we went from Moscow, took a train to St. Petersburg, and there were kids waiting at the train station at 8:00 in the morning, following us to the hotel, following us to the restaurant.
Do they try to like restrict you from going to certain places when you're in like Moscow or something like that?
We only went from the airport to the hotel, to the club, and then to the train station. So we really didn't have a lot of time to go see a lot of stuff. We had our tour manager like showed us some of the sites, and then we went all around just clubs and then dinner, and then took the train to the next show. And then we flew from Moscow to JFK, and that was a long flight.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking wild. What time of year was it when you played in?
That was February.
Oh shit!
No, that was March. The tour was February, most of the tour, but it ended there in March. But that was the same tour. We went to Transylvania, the Bone Church, and that was February.
Wait. So you played a Bone Church or the Bone?
No. We stopped by. Our tour manager. I told him that I always wanted to see it, and it was like a half-hour detour out of the way. Same with Dracula's Castle. That was about 2 hours out of the way, but he made sure swing by. We're here. Why not? When's the next time we're going to go to Transylvania?
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yep.
How were the crowds over there? How big of a crowd you play for over in Russia?
It was about 500.
Nice.
Yeah. Just a bigger venue, kind of like maybe like Irving Plaza size.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
What's the fucking weirdest place you played?
Weirdest place. We played at a little hamburger restaurant that was in Germany, about the size of my living room.
Oh yeah,
that was fun though. I had fun playing those shows. That it's like the old hardcore scene, like Northeast hardcore, where everybody's just there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like is that like a legit club, or like just like
Yeah, they put on shows. They had like a little restaurant in the front, and in the back venue area was probably about a little less than half of the room you guys are in right now.
Damn.
Yeah, with a stage that we couldn't fit on the stage, so the drums were on the stage, we were on the floor, but it was still fun.
That's cool. That's wild. They'll go from fucking 85,000 people in the fucking small hamburger rooms.
Yeah, and then that's when I did the Soulfly tryout. It was my mom dropped me off on the tour bus at that one actually, because I was in Charleston seeing my mom for Christmas, and they were playing Charleston. So instead of Florida, I asked them if I could just jump on there, and they said yeah. The club in Charleston got shut down, so I guess the promoter scrambled, and it was at a little pool hall, and we built a barricade with the flight cases. And the first time I met Max, I was on the bus, and he asked, how is it in there? I told him like how small it is with the barricades, and he said, awesome. Those are the most fun shows sometimes, like punk rock.
Were you in the band with Rizzo?
No, I never actually got in the band. I've toured with them a few times. Like I think when I was in Crowbar, we opened for them for about a month. But yeah, I know Mark from doing the tryout, and then we just kind of kept in touch, and then toured that one tour together.
I've heard good things about Mark. I heard he was a good.
Yeah,
dude.
He's cool. That dude's funny.
Yeah,
this is New Jersey represent right there, bro.
Yeah,
that's right. Nice. So you got fucking what bands your girlfriend's in? Convalescence? What is it?
The Convalescence.
The Convalescence, right?
Yeah.
Black metal.
Yeah, she's actually playing. It's like deathcore, symphonic deathcore, because she adds the keyboards. They're playing next weekend at the Earth Day Birthday Fest in Orlando. I think Godsmack's headlining it. Black Veil Bride, so it's like a mixture of bands.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're playing there, and then they're actually going on tour shortly after that. I think it's a U.S. run.
Nice. Fucking
yeah, we have something in the works too. It's more like a doom black metalish type stuff, or just trying to combine different elements, like darker kind of sounding.
Cool.
So we'll see how it goes. I also do the Tribal Bonds thing too, so there's a lot of music stuff on the table with not a lot of time.
Yeah. When you played with Trauma Bonds a couple times live, right?
Yeah, I did 2 shows with them. We have another one coming up in May. I think May 21st in Orlando. Adam's other band, Endorphin, they're headlining, and then Trauma Bonds. Adam's used to be in Propane and Crumbsuckers.
Yeah.
So he's the other guitar player, opposite side, which is crazy because he's probably one of the best guitar players I've ever seen. And then there's me trying to play a 7-string when I'm used to bass. So it's fun though.
Practice, man. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. Hell yeah, man. What's it like playing with fucking F-Sal from Crisis? F-Sal is a fucking sweetheart, man. Since we've been going down to Florida, he opened up the bar down there, and I didn't know him before that. Of course, I knew Crisis before that, but I didn't know F-Sal before that. And I've gotten really friendly with him, and Jeff are really close friends. And he's like a legendary dude, though, man. Like his guitar stuff is great. The new stuff you guys are writing is really fucking good. That Masters Ashes is really fucking good.
Thanks.
So how's it working with F-Sal? He's a fucking great dude.
It's awesome to play with him. Like last night, I was saying, like, even he showed me the riffs, and then him and Fred kind of made the skeleton of it. And then when me and Katie came up, he said it's more we're adding like the meat on it. So he wants to compose it with everybody, where it's not like one person's band, everybody's gonna have an input.
Yeah.
But he'll write the song. So when Fred comes down, I'm working a lot, so I can't go up to Lutz to rehearse a lot. So they just do that. They record, they send it to us. And like last night, we went up there, had dinner with them, and then we went into his upstairs room and started playing some music, trying to learn the 2 new songs, because we want to do 5 songs instead of 3. Like last time you were at the show, it was only 3.
Yeah,
yeah. We're opening up to 5.
Yeah, it was too short, man. But what's as good as I actually like that when I go see bands and it's like a fucking short set and you jump.
Yeah, you want more.
Yeah.
We're still looking for like a vocalist. We know one guy that would fit the bill.
Dude, you know what's funny, man? I have asked, because F-Sal has asked me to sing on it, and I'm like,
yeah.
First of all, I'm really intimidated by you and fucking playing with F-Sal. But I'm like, and I have been listening to it to try and find some time, dude. And I'm gonna try and find some time, honestly, in the next 2 weeks, and try and put something over the top of it and see if I'm happy with it.
Yeah, it's no intimidation. Azal is awesome to work with. Like, I'm not used to someone wanting to hear my input or even just change a song in the middle, and then they can get excited about it because they thought it added more layers or more different sound to it.
Yeah.
And then even with Katie with her keyboard, she was doing different, like a lot of organ sounds or creepier parts to it.
Yeah.
And it's all open. Anybody has ideas, put it on the table, and whatever works we use.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'm honestly like fucking. I've been so fucking busy lately, but I'm hoping over the next week or so I can actually.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And try and lay something over it. And if I'm actually like okay with it, then I will send it down. But
all right,
I'm not gonna embarrass myself. I'm sure fucking whatever, man. I'm not gonna embarrass myself.
The embarrassment goes away. Look at me with the hammer smash face.
You pulled it off, though, man. You pulled it off.
And you guys have a show at Lucky's coming up?
Yeah, we're playing on Saturday night. We're actually playing.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, this Saturday we're playing. Should be pretty good, man. I haven't played out in a little while, so it'll be good. Get back into
That'd
it.
be cool. Yeah, we're still trying to get up there at some point in the summer.
Yeah, you totally got to come up and visit, and we'll fucking rage.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Hell yeah. You got any questions for this guy? And we'll fucking.
Just by listening to the story, man, this means I still got a chance, right?
What?
Dude, it's the life I want to live.
Dude, you're young, man. How would you say 27?
Oh, 29.
29. It doesn't matter. You're still in your.
No, I didn't start touring full time till I was 32.
Yeah, I believe you on that. Like I was telling you last time, Jeff. A couple of years ago, you would never. First of all, people don't even believe I'm a guitarist. That's number one. I worked in a hospital. You know, I was the only one with headphones on, wearing all black, blasting some metal in my ears. I didn't even have time to play music as I do now. Fast forward, the whole world fell apart. Now I'm closer to my dream than I've ever been.
Yeah, dude, it's just, you know, and honestly, being at Lucky 13 and stuff like you're just going to meet more people. That's how, I mean, I didn't start Eyes of the Sun till I was, you know, in my early 30s, you know what I mean? Because I was just like not meeting the right people. But dude, you're surrounded by it constantly here. One minute you're going to meet a fucking drummer, you're going to meet a bass player, and everything's going to kind of come together. It'll happen, man. Be patient.
Yeah, definitely. I'm 41 now, and I'm still trying to kind of start all over again with putting new bands together. Because one of my goals is to get back on tour with something that I had created, even if it's with Azal and Katie, like everybody and Fred have their own. Everybody has a part in it. It would be like going on a tour, playing some festivals. That is kind of like, I'm not saying my own thing because there's 4 of us, but it's not like a hired gun kind of thing. One of my goals is to go back to Europe, play shows, kind of like on our own terms, I guess is a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
Like we can pick what we want to do. Master's Ashes is going to be pretty selective because, you know, Azal owns the bar. Fred's up in New York. He's a realtor. We have the full-time jobs here, but we're also doing another project and trying to get that going too.
And honestly, that's what intimidated me the last time I was down there last month or whatever.
Yeah,
and
when you said no pressure.
Yeah, and I spoke to Absal, and he's like, dude, I can't get out much either. This isn't going to be like a fucking full-time thing. There's no pressure. So I just honestly have not even had him. I've been listening to it in my car. I just haven't had a minute to really.
Yeah, no, we know how that is too. Like last night was cool. I even told Azal, it's like we need to get more time to actually come up because Monday is the only day that him and his wife have off in the bar because they rotate.
Right.
We works at the bar. And I actually got out of work early enough. Had to go to the Ford dealership because Katie's car, they kind of messed up with something. So we had to go there. That's like 40 minutes away. But we were able to get up to his house at about 6 o'clock, hang out with them for dinner and then practice. So it's kind of like reminding us that we need to, even if it wasn't just music, hang out with people more. Like hang out with our friends again. Just get away from the routine of the 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 or 7, whatever it is.
Yeah, and that's what's you know, it's funny. Like once, like no matter what, Jamal, once you get it in your blood too. Like, listen, I'm almost 50 years old. You know what I mean? I can't stop doing it. I'm still playing, doing shit. I'm not looking to, you know. I know it's whatever happens, but it's not like, you know, I'm not dependent on it. It's just you do it because you love doing it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean?
Right. And there's been times, even like a month ago, get frustrated that like I have an idea in my head, and then I get frustrated sometimes, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, I spent so much time doing it. I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. And the next day I was like, man, I got to go on tour.
Yeah.
I'll say it, but it's like when you think about it, it's like, nah, this is what I've been doing since I think I picked up the guitar 13 years old, switched to bass at 14. Took me a long time to go on my first tour, but the first tour was actually that one right there, the Ministry one. So that was kind of my break into not breaking, like I made it some huge successful thing, but that was my welcoming into touring, was opening for Ministry, which was crazy. But
yeah, which is a pretty fucking awesome first tour.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the tour with when Uncle Al was retiring, or?
Yeah, that's when they stopped for a while. It was the 2008 See You Late tour. They did the U.S. with, I think, Burton from Fear Factory was playing with them, and then when they went to Europe, it was just Ministry.
What album was it? Was it the Sphinx? No, was it? I forget. Is that what it was? See You Later tour.
Yeah, See You Late tour.
And did you do? Did you play? Did you go? You didn't do the States with them also too?
No, just Europe. Like I think they had a 5-week tour. You know, we did 4 weeks with them, and then we did a week on our own with my Uncle the Wolf for like Stone from the Underground Fest.
Nice.
That was a big like stoner rock, sludge doom kind of thing going on over there.
Yeah.
Smaller fest, but it was awesome. It was fun.
Nice. Michael the Wolf is a fucking great band, also.
Yeah, I have to text Zach. I haven't talked to him in a little bit, probably a month or two ago. He's out west right now. I think he's in Portland still.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, dude, I have to fucking take a piss. Thinking fucking these fucking coquito things. So we'll start kind of winding it up, but Jeff, man, thank you so much for fucking coming on.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad today was a shorter work day too, that I was able to actually get my stuff done before 4:30. And thanks for having me on. It was fun, and I know I've been watching you guys do this since I was hanging out in the garage at the other house during the shutdown. I think it's when you guys first started it.
Yeah, we started I think we started it in 2016, which is crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we started in 2016, and then we kind of taken a break for the past year or so.
Yeah.
But now trying to get it back up and going and shit. So, but yeah, man. But yeah, dude, I really appreciate you coming, man. It's been fun. You got to come up and fucking visit.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna come, even if it's for like a Friday night to a Sunday night.
Yeah, dude, totally.
Yeah.
You got a place to crash here, man? We'll have a fucking good time and get drunk and stupid.
All right, awesome. The usual New York trip.
Fuck yes.
Awesome.
All right, Jeff. Thank you so much for coming on, man. And
No problem. Thank you.
I will talk to you soon, brother.
All right.
All right, man.
Later.
Later, bro.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed Jeff and let Jamal. We'll talk to you next week. Dee, next week.
All right.
Get
All
Frankie back some fucking news. All right. Later, brother.
Peace out, motherfuckers.
Later.
Like and subscribe, bitches.
Yeah.